it's Tracey and Violet from Tea Time with Tracey and Violet. And it is Friday morning, and it is pouring. It's supposed to be thunder and lightning today, but I haven't heard any yet. But I have a couple of books to talk about. I just got out of the shower, that's why my hair's all wet, and I might be a little shiny. But yeah, I wanted to talk about these books. I read them a little while ago, about a month ago, but I remember them. And they're worth talking about, But I'll show you teacup I have here today. Look at this. This is a Nova Scotian one. Would be like a dory with lobster traps on it. If you guys are from the Maritimes, you know what we're talking about. But if you don't know how lobsters are caught, right there, and it has Nova Scotia, or no, it has lobster fishing written down. There. Up in Parker's Cove, where my dad was from. It looked like a little wharf like that with dories and little boats and stuff. Just a little tiny, not even a village. It was just like a little fishing wharf thing, but Nova Scotia. And then that's the Nova Scotia map. Oops. Oh no. And where we are right about there, where my fingernail is. And Halifax is right where my thumbnail is. Yeah. And then where Cape Breton is, since I'm way over here, Cape Breton's way over here. Yeah. Anyways, she has gold all around, and you can see there's little waves here, along with her gold up there at the top. And she's kind of fancy because she has a double gold ring down here, and she has gold on all sides, there, and on the back too. And she's showing off because look at that. Yeah, I can see the flower. So this beauty came from Queen Anne bone china, England. And we're going to have some tea out of her today. And to go along with this, I broke out another teapot. I actually have teacups that match this teapot, but I just thought she wanted to come out. That is the Nova Scotia tartan, like the flag for Nova Scotia. And I have tea cups and a sugar bowl and stuff that goes along with this, but he wanted to come out and play today. The fishing guy. I have, oh yeah, this is good. English breakfast tea. I just opened a parcel on my other channel, Nova Scotia Living. If you don't follow me there, I do a daily vlog. But my friend Kelly from Halifax, where I showed you Halifax was, sent me Twinings English breakfast black tea, steep 4 minutes. Well, it's been 4 minutes. And still have this creamer out. So, yeah, we're going to talk about psychological suspense thriller romance, dark romance today. And this is the first one I've read that really got me twisted up the way it did. Can you hear the rain? I thought we'd sit out here so we could hear the rain. I'm talking about, this is a Duet book by Trisha Wolfe. I've never read anything by her before, but I bought this Duet book. This is Born Darkly is book 1, and then Born Madly is book 2, and they both go together. So they make a good sized book when you have them together. And just look at her hand there. She has a key tattoo, and on his back he has a keyhole. So just saying. So I'll start with book 1. I'll read the back of it right there. He challenged her sanity She shattered his reality. They dared each other to the brink of madness. A dark and twisted maze awaits criminal psychologist London Noble, that's the girl, when she falls for her patient, convicted serial killer Grayson Pierce Sullivan. As she unravels the traps, her sanity is tested with each game. She's forced to acknowledge the true evil in the world around her. So, yes. Anyways, for London, like I said, I read this about a month ago, but London is a criminal psychologist and the best in the business. The best, the best, the best. And she's just fairly young, but that's what her life has focused on, being the best at. And she's the best. She gets called into courtrooms as the top notch. Something funny going on here. The top-notch psychologist for criminal, like death penalty, criminal cases and things like that. So this book starts off with her doing just that. It doesn't have anything to do with the guy in this, but just a random one. And she's giving her testimony, and to the general public, she looks like she's just trying to get serial killers off or murderers off, but she breaks down their psychology and their mind and discovers whether they're really criminally insane or they should be charged to the fullest extent of the law. So oftentimes she gets these killers off, but she takes her job seriously. Like, she's not working for these killers or anything like that, but she totally believes wholeheartedly she's doing what needs to be done to help these supposed criminals. So it starts off, and she's in a courtroom, and it happens right at the beginning. So I can tell you, she gets this person off, and doesn't get the person off, but a reduced kind of sentence sort of thing, like whatever it's called. And like I said, the general public don't really care for her a whole lot, especially the ones that are involved in the court case, families and stuff, because when she walks out of that courtroom, she's thrown a bucket of pig blood all over her. Like, it's just, she takes the good with the bad, and that was a bad day. So, anyways, London, she's just, fairly young for her profession, and she lives by herself, and she doesn't really do anything. She's a workaholic in the sense, this is what she does. She's mentally exhausted, but she can't stop doing what she's doing. She takes it seriously, and she just wants to, let's stop. There's somebody around here, we can't see them, that's all. Is this the haunted deck? There she is. Oh, they're just coming to play in the rain. Singing in the rain. She's wagging her tail at me. Anyways, so she has a contract with this prison. This is where her main office is. This prison, it's a contract. She doesn't want to stay there forever, but she has some sort of contract there. And she is the psychologist for some of the prisoners there. Now, this Grayson Pierce Sullivan, he is at this jail, and she had wanted to work with him. He had been in jail for a year. She had wanted to work with him when he first came in, but he refused her. So a year's gone by. She's still this mundane, daily routine. She's doing all this, but to switch to Grayson for a second. Grayson has been arrested as a serial killer. I think there was 15 people killed, but none of their bodies were ever found. But he was charged, and he has videotapes of their deaths. Now, he's not technically in any of the videos. His voice is, but he's not in the thing. So he is arrested on this. But it's come time that he's about to be sent out of state to another state. I was going to say province, but state, to go up on a charge that would be the death penalty. Like, whatever state, I forget now which state it is. Whatever state in the States has the death penalty, I forget. I don't know. But, so he initiated this contact with her a year since he's been in jail. This maximum security, like hardcore lockdown. Nothing, you know, no fooling around. So she semi-jumps at the chance to do this. But she's prepping her mind and herself. Okay, London, you know, you need to be professional. I know you want to dig around in his mind to see why the way he is, but you still need to do your job, and he's the type of person you can't give him an inch, because he is super intelligent. Like, he's dangerously intelligent. Like, he'd be a mastermind behind a whole thing. Like, his IQ was off the charts kind of thing. So don't give anything about yourself to him, because he'd be like Hannibal Lecter in the intelligence level, you know. Fast forward a bit. He is brought to her office, and now he's in chains, and he's chained to the floor. Like, she had things installed into her floor to have, you know, the people that she's seeing there, and she's at a safe distance. And he's a great big hulking man, and he's always covered. He's covered in all clothes. Like, even if it's hot, he has sleeves on and hair and things, but he always wants to be covered. So that was one thing she noticed. And for a while, like the first visit, he didn't really say too much. And he would try to initiate, eventually when he would say answers, it would be like simple answers. And she was getting flustered, kind of. Because she's like, how am I going to work with this guy if he's not going to work with me? But she, they end up conversing, in a sense, over the next few visits. She found the only way to get him to talk about anything is for her to talk about a few things. So if he answers a question, she has to answer a question. All right? So they were simple little questions, but again, he is a smarty. And he was dissecting her even more than she was dissecting him. Like, you could see this, you could hear it in his mind. He knows what he's doing. Now, she becomes really obsessed with him and his case and his supposed serial killingness. Now, the videos from the murders of these victims, he was kind of like a Dexter. I've never watched that show, Dexter. I know he kills killers. Grayson would only, all the people that were on these videos and have gone missing, showed to be dead on videos, were like people that committed heinous crimes. Now, I'll give you one example. There was this older guy, and he was strapped up into some harnesses. He's in a room. I forget all the details, but he's strapped into a room, and he's hanging, like he's dangling. Stam kind of thing. And he was a pedophile. He got off on the charges, but he was a pedophile, and there was TV screens of all the people he has ever violated going. Now, Grayson was not in this video, but his voice was playing over a speaker. And this guy is freaking out, denying it, and then he finally admits it, thinking that he's gonna get off. What he is dangling over, I had to look it up to see. I mean, it's explained in the book, but I just wanted to see. It's a medieval torture thing called the Judas Cradle. And what it is, there's like a pyramid, and a person is dangled above it. Just be aware if you need to skip ahead of this. It's a medieval torture thing. It's like a pyramid with a sharp point, and a person is lowered down on the point. So their arse or private area is going down on this point, and it's slowly going down and down and down. So it's a horrible death, horrible death. Slow death. You know, the more he wiggles, the more it goes down. The more he wiggles. And Grayson gives this guy, I think it's 12 hours. If you can stay on this for 12 hours, I'll let you go. If you want it to stop immediately because you can't take the pain anymore, you just pull this rope. But if you pull the rope, you're going to die. And it goes on for about 6 hours. And this guy, he can't take it anymore. The pain is so excruciating. He pulls this, and his head gets blown off. I think that's what happens. Something like that. That's just one example of one victim. Grayson, if he does what it says it does, I'm not going to say one way or the other, but he wasn't just a random shoot you kind of person, stab you kind of person. He was sick in the sense, like, he would drag it out in these scenarios, kind of like Saw or something like that. This book goes on about a choice. Everybody has a choice. They chose to do the crime, so they get to choose what's going to happen with this. There's another example. I'm not going to get all into it, but somebody's dangled above acid. So what you gonna do? You know, you're gonna fall to your death and be dissolved, or what? You know what I mean? That sort of thing. So that's enough saying about that. They're both very intense characters. So this relationship between Grayson and London go on for a period of weeks. And there's a lot of things that go on. You would think, how can they get kind of intimate in a jail office? They don't get full on, but there's such a connection with these two. It plays with your mind. It played with my mind. It really did. It made me think, oh my God, am I a psychopath or something? Like, they dig away. And they dig away at each other. And Grayson, the smart guy he is, he gets London to look in on herself and why she is the way she is. And I can't give too much away about it, but London had a horrible thing happen to her when she was younger. And a really big traumatic event steered her into the profession that she is in right now. And you'd think, oh, she's in this profession because she wants to help people. And she starts second guessing that. She's in this profession because she's very similar to him in the sense she wants to get close to the honest truth and realness of choices, how he gives people choices, and how a person has to pay for what they do no matter what. She's in this profession so she can be as close to that as possible, and she likes to dig around in people's minds and break them down. So a mental thing. She's very much almost a succubus in the sense, mental succubus, like just play with people's minds. And she never seen this, didn't realize this in herself. And it scares her. And she doesn't know if it's just him playing games with her or not. So fast forward, there's a lot of action in this story. I'm not really getting into this. I need to stop talking about this. But fast forward, it comes time for the death penalty trial. And this is just for one victim, like there's 15, so. she's called to the stand to give her statement. So I'm not going to say how it goes, but fast forward a little bit more, and these two are, he's breaking out of somewheres. He's breaking out of somewheres. He, and she is close by. So he gives her the choice. Believe in yourself and live the life that you're supposed to live. Stop hiding behind a desk and do what you're supposed to do. Come with me and do that, or stay here. She ends up going with him. Again, she's scared. She doesn't know whether this is the right thing to do. Fast forward a little bit, and then she is in one of these scenarios where all of those other victims were. She thought she was going to go and try to live the life that she didn't realize she wanted to live. But tables turn, and I can't say too much. I'll say this one thing and then I won't give any more details. She's pretty much buried alive, and it's terrifying. Terrifying. And she's forced into this situation, and in her mind she's replaying that horrible event in her childhood, in her young thing. So she has a complete breakdown, and she's at the mercy of this serial killer. And you think, oh my God, I thought you liked her. You made it sound like you liked her. But it's very dark because it's not the typical, like, you're not rooting for one or the other. You start to root for somebody and then you're like, what am I thinking? Why do I connect with this person? But then they do something so twisted or backpedal a little bit, and I'm just like, I don't know what to think about this. So it made me question myself. And I know it's just a story. It's just a story. But at one point, she's scared to try to, when she made the decision to go with him, she's like, I just gave up my life. I gave up my job. I gave up the life I've always known in my adulthood and stuff like that. So she's scared. But at one point, she is found. But she's found in a certain way that it doesn't look like she was there from her own doing, which gives her a way back into her old life. However, he is not found. And she has jumped over so many mental barriers. She sees what needs to be done, and it's terrifying. And I know I'm being extremely vague, but I have to be for you to get the intensity in this book. These books. Okay, so she has a connection with him, even though he did some crazy stuff with her. She doesn't know whether she likes him or not, but she's the only one that can connect, and he fully believes she's exactly like him, only she doesn't know it yet. It's such a mind trip. It really is. It really, really is. And there's some crazy twists, especially at the end. I did not see coming. I did not see coming. And for a while there, I was like, I am so sad. But then I'm like, what? What? This is a horrible book review. I'm just... I can't say too much about it, except it was a trip to read. It was kind of a difficult read. Like, I didn't read that nearly as fast as I read others because I had to digest it. Some books I can breeze right through. Like, I can read a whole book in a day and start on another one and be half through till the next day and keep going. For me, these books, I know they're just fiction. They're not real, but I had to digest them. Like, I had to digest it, and I can't do that on a dime. So I enjoyed this. I did, and it was my first real suspense, thriller, psychological, romance, whatever category. It is extremely dark. And I would say there's trigger warnings in this. Gore, consent, captive, captor. Yeah. Yeah. But I am so glad I read it, and it gives me a way in. And I just noticed last night, because I wanted to skim through these, there is a branch off of this. She has one friend in this story, like a colleague. It doesn't get too much into her, but she makes an appearance a couple times. I guess she has a book that is a spin-off. Yeah, spin-off. If I can find, there was a little, anyways, yeah, there's a spin-off. If I can find it, I'll put it right here. But I'm going to end this video now. It wasn't in great detail what I told you, but it gives you the gist. It was the first of one of those kind of books. I would read something like that again, but I really had to have a break after that one in regards to that genre, because I'm like, oh my God, I must be crazy. I must be like those guys, because my mind is right there with them, and I get why he's doing it, and I'm glad he's doing it, but why is he doing it to this way and that way, and everything. They're sick. They're both sick individuals, and I'm just like, yeah. For me, anyways. But get up here, Violet. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Her pretty face. Her pretty face. You're so pretty. Yes. Anyways, I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose. But if not, that's okay too. I still love ya. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, all right, guys. Well, the rain has kind of died down a bit. I was trying to get out here and hope for a clap of thunder, but maybe it'll come after. But I'm going to finish that pot of tea, and it's delicious. It is absolutely delicious. Yes, yeah. And, yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. So, with that, I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning, and I might see you tomorrow. Bye. Bloop.